What's up, guys? So, today's discussion is about how to draw anything on the paper. If you'll be able to understand how to draw anything on the paper with fundamentals, your life is going to be so easier. So, myself is Sumit Srivastava. I'm going to help you how to do that. I have been practicing sketching from past 12 years and I've been designing things from past 5 years. Not bad. Yeah, 5 years. Yes, 5.5 almost correct. So we're going to discuss a couple of things in this video. So stick to the video till the end and enjoy the journey of designing. It's going to be a roller coaster journey. So don't miss out. I'm going to get you out from the comfort zone, which will help you to bring your creativity on the paper. Are you guys ready now? I'm ready now. Yes, always for sketching. Always yes for sketching. First thing first, you should know the right posture. What is the right posture? For right posture, you should have a right chair and table. Right? So keep everything aside from your table. Just throw it. Don't just throw it, keep it aside. Clean your table. There should not be something which is gonna make a hurdle whenever you're sketching, right? You should not feel congested, uncomfortable whenever you're sketching. You should be relaxed. First thing, right? Second thing, your chair height and your table height. Your table should not be very close to your chest. It should be close to your belly button, which will help you to make your movement flexible. If your movement is flexible, it's gonna be very easy for you to draw it on the paper, right? So make sure you're also checking the popliteal height of your chair. If you don't know what is popliteal height, what you can do is you can go to your Google Baba, and type what is popliteal height, so you will not miss any back crunches, right? Or back pains, you call it. Third thing, how to hold a pencil. It's a very important to hold a pencil. Usually, how do we hold a pencil? We hold a pencil from the tip point, right? Somewhere close to that. What I'll suggest you to hold a pencil from a distance. When you start holding a pencil from a distance, you'll start your work is going to be more flexible. You'll be able to see what is happening on the paper, so you will not miss any connected lines, right? As well as whenever you're drawing something on the paper, it'll give you a very flexibility to move your small lines like a ninja on the paper, right? So make sure these are the things which you're going to take care of. Okay. Fourth thing, we're going to talk about some stationery. For stationery, you should have so many things. Not exactly. You need only a pencil and A3 size paper or A4 size paper, and you should have a good sharpener. Make sure you have a good sharpener. Spend like some amount of money to buy a good sharpener, which will help you out to sketch better on the paper. Sketching is all about how much time you'll be giving, right, and how much effort you will be putting every time to sketch something from your brain. Because industry will always ask you to sketch from your brain, not take a reference from somewhere and replicate it on the paper. No, that artist can do easily, but artist also does creative work. See, to understand and design, you have been thinking something, and that is going to be more valuable. So 1 rupees pencil, 1 rupee paper, or maybe 10 rupees pencil, 10 rupee paper, and $1 billion idea. So that is the power of sketching. Okay, next, you should not think much whenever you start sketching. Just concentrate whatever is coming out inside your brain currently and try to put it on the paper. Don't hustle a lot. You might will be thinking and dueling your head here and there in terms of characters, car, forms, or surfaces. That is not a good way. I will always suggest you to start with proportions. There is a basic fundamental of designing or drawing called proportions, surfaces, detailing. We call it P, S, and D. You'll understand this fundamental. We're gonna learn this thing in this particular video, right? So moving forward with the video, what is P? P stands for proportions. proportions. The proportions, right? S stands for surfaces. Surfaces, yeah, the surface. D stands for detailing. We're not going to touch surface and detailing until we not finish the proportion. Whenever you see an object which is far from you or close to you, always see the proportion of the object, right? And then you try to see the surface and then you jump to the detailing. I'll give you a very small example. If a girl will walking in front of you, a beautiful girl, when she is 500 meters away from you, what do? What do you see? You see a very first thing which is going to be a proportion, a figure of a girl, right? So the silhouette of the girl or a man, right? Second thing, what do you see? Second thing, whenever she come closer to you, let's say 100 meters or let's say 50 meters, what do you see first? In the second wave, let's see 50 meters. What do you see at the second wave? You always see her surfaces, like what kind of clothes she's wearing, how the clothes are traveling on the surface, right? And you might not understand. You also understand the color, but the color contrast as well as detailing will not be expressed as such, right? Now, third thing, what do? You see detailing. Whenever she comes closer to you, like let's say 2 meter, right, or 5 feet, you will start looking her detailing of her hair, detailing of her eye, cornea of the eye, as well as what kind of texture is there on the surface, right? What kind of color is reflecting from silhouette of the surface. So these are the things which is important. So I will suggest you to not to worry about surfaces, and I will suggest you to not to worry about detailing and surfaces. Just start with proportions. Just remember, this guy is so important for you to do, right? Okay, what's the next thing? Just guess. A line quality. A line quality has to be really smooth and better. I'm going to show you on the video from the top view that how the line quality plays a very major role. Now let's also discuss about your joints. Now what's the next thing? Next thing is going to be your joints. I'm not talking about joints, I'm talking about your hand joints. So you have 1, 2, 3. I also consider these joints, which is going to help us later to detail our work, right? So I'll suggest you to start using a shoulder joint. Make sure whenever you're going to start using a shoulder joint, you will be not using your elbow as well as your wrist joint at a time. Because if you're going to start using let me just show you the example. If you're going to use your shoulder joint, something like this, it's going to help you. See, my elbow joint is restricted now, right? So this joint is not moving. But if I'm going to use my elbow joint, it's going to be something like this. Can you guys see that? So that is the difference between my shoulder joint and elbow joint. So you need to freeze your elbow joint and whistle your wrist joint. You need to move ahead with your shoulder joint. And make sure whenever you're using your shoulder joint, you'll not be moving something like this as well. Right? This is not the good way. Also, if you want to use your shoulder joint wisely, these are the suggestions for you. You can also bend your hand and you can also draw something like this. But make sure, even though if you're bending your hand, you will not be moving something like this. You will be moving something like that and you can draw it. So at that time, as also you should not move your elbow joint. You should only move your shoulder joint. You see the very subtle way we can draw, right? Vertical lines or horizontal lines. Cool. Make sure you'll not be moving your body a lot. Your body movement is not so important. Your shoulder joint movement is so important. Don't do a very line drawing, something like this. Okay, long length distance. So that is about shoulder joint. Next is gonna be how to maintain dynamism of your line, right? So there is a say called 0, 1, 0 that we need to maintain it here. How are we going to maintain it here? Basically, 0 defines a very light area of your line, 1 defines thicker area of your line, and 0 defines again lighter area. So it's gonna be 0, 1, 0. You might have heard or seen the pulsar. Pulsar is basically not a bike I'm talking about inspiration of the shooting stars. So for the shooting stars also we call it pulsar. So in the shooting star you might see the end area of the shooting stars always vanish to the background, which is not exactly the stroke we are going to play. We're going to play around the strokes when the both side of your shooting stars will be vanishing and the middle area of your stroke is going to be highlighted. So next thing about muscle memory. Over a period of time, human beings are developing muscle memories. Likewise, you ride a bicycle. So you develop this habit to apply the brake consciously or subconsciously if some object will come in front of you. That is part of your muscle memory. You don't command your brain consciously and say, hey, apply brake to this pressure and it's gonna happen. No. Subconsciously you develop this habit in your brain that whenever some object will come in front of you, you're gonna apply the brake itself, right? Automatically it works. Similarly, whenever you draw something on the paper, there are habits which you have created, the rituals you have created, which is freeze in your muscle memory, will help you to develop or sketch it on the paper dynamically. So whenever we draw straight lines, the more straight lines we're going to draw every day, the more practice we're going to do with straight lines, it will start freezing inside our muscle memory, which will help us to draw lines betterly whenever you draw any product, because all products has been defined by lines, curves and geometric shapes, right? So we're going to understand that how muscle memory also plays a major role. We're going to understand how muscle memory plays a very major role in your life, and how your left side of the brain and the right side of the brain works. So what we have covered now, we have understood the right posture, right table height, the right stationary. We have not discussed about stationary. In the next video, I will be sharing more information about stationary. Also, we understood different types of joints, what types of joints you're going to use. I'm talking about your hand joints, which I have discussed already. Also about the muscle memory. We have not discussed about the right side of the brain, the left side of the brain, which is going to covered in the next video. You also have to include doing one sketch at a time. If you will be sketching multiple things together on the paper, you will be misguiding you itself, right? So I believe that doing one activity at a time will enhance your productivity as well as your concentration, right? So your output is gonna be amazing. Okay. Also, I wanted to discuss about that the designers as well as artists has not paid because they can draw. They are paid or they can express better a concept work because they can think and draw. So make sure you will be breaking this habit of seeing something, taking a reference and drawing, instead of thinking something inside your head and trying to put that thought on the paper. And that is the profound skill which you have to achieve. That's what I believe, that creativity plays a very, very major role, and the thinking process plays a very major role whenever you being a creative designer or artist. So make sure you will be thinking and drawing parallelly, and it's a habit which you develop over a period of time, right? So I will say keep thinking, keep sketching. Instead of getting a reference, you can take a reference, but make sure every time you're not considering a reference and while looking at something and drawing. I will suggest you to think something, think that object, think that persona, think that metaphor, think about what kind of object depth is there, think about the perspective, think about the detailing of the product, right? Think about how the surface is being molded in the product. Visualize your entire object into 3D and understand that how the small areas can play a very major role while putting your thoughts or your object on the paper, right? So don't miss out something which is very important for you to put it on the paper in terms of thinking process, right? Next thing is practice. The more you're gonna practice, the better your line quality is gonna be, or better your drawings are gonna be. You might have heard about this quote that practice makes men's perfect, as well as women's too. Yeah. So practice more. That is gonna help you to build your habit or your rituals, your timeline, as well as you will be able to improve your sitting duration, which is very important for people who draw. If you wanted to build something, you need to develop a habit which can be created in 21 days. 21 days, it's so simple. You just have to be consistent to your work. And trust me, if you're going to start building this habit, just follow 21 days every single day, same timing. After 21 days, your subconscious brain will always want to tell you, hey, we have not done that activity. Can we just move ahead and can we do this activity? You will start enjoying that activity after 21 days. So try to develop this habit as well. I hope you enjoy the video. So what are you waiting for? Hit the like button, subscribe, and keep learning. See you there. Bye.